There is a moment quiet, delicate, when you lift your gaze from the world beneath your feet and allow it to drift outward, far beyond the familiar blue sky. A moment when the vast machinery of our solar system begins to reveal itself, not as a distant concept, but as a living rhythm surrounding you every second of your life. In that still moment, you sense the sun's silent pull, a force so gentle you never feel it, yet so powerful it holds 8 planets, countless moons, and billions of fragments in a graceful, eternal dance. Imagine now the sun itself, an enormous sphere of glowing plasma, burning with a calm so ancient it predates everything you have ever known. It does not roar, it does not rage. It simply shines, releasing waves of light that travel across the emptiness of space, crossing millions of kilometers in perfect silence until they finally touch your skin. This light is older than your thoughts, older than your memories, older than every breath you have ever taken. As you feel its warmth in your imagination, your mind begins to loosen, drifting into that same ancient quiet. Around this star, worlds of every shape and temperament trace slow, elegant paths. Mercury, scorched and trembling in the sun's glow. Venus, wrapped in clouds so thick they hold the heat like a sleeping giant. Earth, the small blue cradle of life, floating in fragile balance. Mars, whispering its dry, cold secrets. And beyond them, the giants Jupiter with its swirling storms, Saturn with its rings of ice and shadow, Uranus and Neptune drifting in the deep cold where sunlight grows faint and soft. Each world moves in perfect harmony, not rushing, not competing, just drifting through the dark with unfathomable patience. Between them lies a silence unlike any on Earth, a silence so pure, so complete, that even light seems to travel more softly through it. Space is not empty. It is a vast ocean of invisible forces, gravity, radiation, magnetic tides, shaping every orbit, every motion, every quiet step of time. As you imagine this boundless ocean, your thoughts begin to float within it, suspended in weightlessness, moving without effort from one gentle idea to another. And now picture yourself drifting outward through this cosmic architecture, past the moon's pale glow, past Earth's soft blue halo, past the orbit of Mars where dust storms whisper across ancient valleys. You move with no resistance, no sound, no urgency, guided only by the slow pull of the sun and the steady rhythm of your own breath. Each breath becomes a small orbit, turning inward, then outward, like a planet completing its ancient journey around the star that sustains it. And in this drifting state, you realize something simple yet profound. You are already part of this system. You always have been. Every atom in your body was forged in a star older than the sun itself. The solar wind touches you, the earth carries you, the cosmos breathes through you. Let that understanding settle gently into your mind. Soft, warm, infinite, as we begin our journey through the silent, glowing heart of the solar system. As you drift deeper into the cosmic expanse, imagine approaching the very heart of our solar system, not through speed or force, but through gentle surrender, as though you are being carried by the quiet breath of space itself. The sun fills your vision now, not as a blinding star, but as a vast, luminous sphere of living fire. Its surface boils in slow, rolling waves, each movement unfolding over minutes, hours, centuries. And yet, from this distance, it appears calm, almost serene, like a great glowing heartbeat suspended in the dark. The sun is not silent. It sings in frequencies too low for human ears to detect. Its vibrations ripple through space, shaping the orbits of planets, stirring magnetic fields, guiding the invisible tides of cosmic energy. Imagine hearing that ancient song not as sound, but as a deep, resonant hum inside your chest. A hum that steadies your breath, eases your thoughts, and invites your awareness to float just a little further away from the weight of the day. Streams of charged particles flow outward from the sun in every direction, forming the solar wind, a gentle, continuous exhale that fills the vast bubble of space surrounding our system. This wind brushes past planets, shapes comet tails, and carves delicate patterns in magnetic fields. It travels silently, without friction, drifting endlessly outward. Imagine feeling this wind now, not as force, but as a warm, subtle pressure, guiding you deeper into calm, like fingers trailing across the surface of still water. Even the sun's light carries its own story. Photons born in the core take hundreds of thousands of years to reach the surface, wandering through dense plasma in slow, luminous journeys. By the time they break free, they race through space at unimaginable speed before gently touching Earth, warming oceans, feeding forests, and brightening the sky. As you imagine this ancient light traveling across millions of kilometers to reach you, your thoughts slow to meet it, softening, lengthening, dissolving into a warm glow. Around the sun, invisible lines of magnetic force twist and arc, rising like loops of molten silk before falling back into the surface. These arcs guide flares, shape storms, and weave an intricate, dynamic architecture that beats like a cosmic pulse. Picture these lines now, glowing faintly, spiraling in graceful curves across the sun's face. Their loops unwind in slow, mesmerizing rhythms that draw your awareness inward, quieting the mind into smooth, drifting motion. And now, as you float near this ancient star, the vastness of its presence begins to cradle you. Its warmth, its rhythm, its gentle, radiant pressure all flow through your imagination, loosening each remaining thread of tension in your body. You are suspended in a peaceful void, held not by gravity, but by light that has traveled across aeons to reach you. Let yourself drift in that glow, warm, steady, timeless, as the journey through the solar system begins. As you drift farther from the sun's glowing surface, imagine the path that light takes, the soft, unbroken stream of photons traveling outward in every direction. They move through space with effortless speed, yet they arrive gently, as if the void cushions them, softening their touch. There is no sound here, no turbulence, no resistance. Only a silent, endless crossing through darkness so pure that even your thoughts begin to dim into stillness. As you follow this light with your imagination, your mind becomes weightless, gliding across a perfectly calm ocean of night. Between you and the sun lies a vast region where nothing interrupts the journey of light. Dust particles drift lazily, hardly moving, illuminated only for a brief moment as a photon passes by. Small fragments of rock and ice, remnants of ancient collisions, float in slow, deliberate orbits, They cast tiny shadows into the darkness, shadows that stretch much farther than their physical size. Even these shadows feel gentle, like soft strokes painted onto the silence of space. As you imagine them drifting, your own thoughts drift with them, becoming quieter, softer, slower. In this cosmic stillness, time begins to stretch. Minutes feel longer, thoughts fade more easily, and your awareness slips into a half-floating state where boundaries blur. The sun becomes a distant sphere of warm gold, shrinking gently as you move outward. Its light still reaches you, but now it arrives diluted, cooler, softer, as though wrapped in layers of velvet darkness. You breathe slowly, sensing the space between breaths widening, mirroring the distance between planets. Occasionally, a charged particle carried by the solar wind passes near you, guided by invisible magnetic currents that thread through the solar system. These particles travel in long spirals, drifting gracefully along magnetic lines that curve and bend like glowing ribbons. They are too small to see, yet their presence shapes the behavior of worlds, creating auroras, storms, and delicate patterns of energy. As you imagine these spiraling motions, your own thoughts begin to move in similar arcs, smooth, unhurried, tracing gentle loops within your mind. Farther out, the density of space decreases even more. The emptiness becomes vast, almost sacred, a place where silence has its own weight. Here, you can almost feel the rhythm of the cosmos, the slow turning of planets, the faint pull of gravity reaching across unimaginable distances, the soft glow of scattered starlight reflecting off drifting dust. As you picture this, a deep tranquility fills your chest, spreading outward like warm light dissolving into shadow. And now, suspended in this serene expanse, you feel yourself becoming part of the stillness. The sun glows behind you, planets lie ahead, and the darkness around you holds you gently, like a cradle woven from quiet itself. You drift in perfect equilibrium as light does, as planets do, as the cosmos itself does slowly, steadily, peacefully. Let this silence wrap around your thoughts. Let the darkness soothe you. Let the journey continue deeper into the solar system. As you drift deeper into the inner solar system, imagine the tiny, fragile world that circles closest to the sun Mercury. From afar, it looks like a silent sphere carved from ancient stone, its surface covered in craters that have remained unchanged for billions of years. There is no atmosphere thick enough to soften impacts, no winds to erase the scars of time. Everything here is still, frozen in the exact shape that history left behind. As you picture this world suspended in darkness, your own mind begins to settle into a similar stillness, quiet, unmoving, perfectly calm. The sunlight that touches Mercury is intense, but in the vacuum of space, it feels strangely soft in your imagination, warming the rocky plains without stirring a single sound. The surface glows with gentle highlights, as if dusted with powdered silver. Then, just a short distance away, the night side falls into absolute cold, a darkness so deep it seems to absorb thought itself. This sharp contrast between day and night creates a quiet duality, a slow rhythm of extremes that mirrors the ebb and flow of your own breath. Warm, cool, light, dark, inhale, exhale. Mercury's rotation is slow, taking nearly 2 Earth months for a single turn. Days stretch endlessly, as though time itself has grown tired and begun to drift. Under the high sun, shadows stand crisp and still. Under the star-filled night, they dissolve completely. Imagine standing on this world's surface, feeling the spaciousness of time spreading out around you, hours stretching into days, days stretching into weeks until your sense of urgency fades into the background, softened by the weightless quiet. Occasionally, faint tremors ripple through the planet, caused by its shrinking core, slowly cooling and contracting over billions of years. These quakes are subtle, gentle pulses that move across the surface in slow waves. As you imagine these vibrations traveling beneath your feet, you feel a similar pulse settling into your chest, a soft, rhythmic thrum that calms your heartbeat and smooths your thoughts into long, drifting motions. Above this barren landscape, the sky is always black, even in daylight. No clouds drift, no atmosphere scatters the sunlight. Stars remain visible even when the ground glows with heat. The sun looms large, twice the size it appears from Earth, its golden light bathing Mercury in a warm, silent glow. As you imagine looking into that vast black sky, filled with unmoving stars, you feel your awareness expand upward, drifting like dust suspended in a sunbeam. And now, as you gently pass by Mercury, its quiet presence lingers with you. A world without wind, without sound, without haste, yet full of ancient stories etched into its surface. It teaches you stillness. It teaches you patience. It teaches you the beauty of a world shaped only by time. Let that stillness rest within your mind as you drift onward, deeper into the solar system, carried by the same silent orbit that guides every world around the Sunday. As you drift farther from Mercury, a soft golden glow begins to rise ahead Venus, but you never see its surface directly. The entire planet is wrapped in a thick veil of clouds, swirling slowly like pale silk stirred by unseen hands. These clouds reflect sunlight beautifully, giving Venus a gentle, radiant brightness that makes it one of the most luminous objects in our sky. As you approach it in your imagination, the glowing sphere appears serene, peaceful, almost dreamlike. And yet, beneath this calm exterior lies a world of intense heat and crushing pressure. The contrast invites your mind into a deeper, quieter contemplation. The clouds of Venus move in endless patterns, driven by winds that circle the planet faster than the surface rotates. But from above, their motion feels soft, smooth, flowing, unbroken. They form vast layers, each one glowing faintly in the filtered sunlight. Imagine drifting just above these clouds, letting their gentle curves guide your thoughts like slow waves lapping at the shore of your awareness. The deeper you watch, the more the rhythms of Venus calm your breath, quieting your inner world. Hidden below is a landscape shaped by volcanic plains, fractured crust, and ancient lava flows, yet all of it concealed beneath the dense atmosphere. No sunlight ever reaches the ground in its original form. Instead, it is scattered, softened, muted into a warm orange glow. Even the harshest heat feels distant from this vantage point, softened by layers of vapor and time. As you imagine this dim, filtered light, your own thoughts become equally muted, moving in warm, gentle pulses. Venus turns incredibly slowly one day. On its surface lasts longer than its entire year. Time here flows differently, stretching across long arcs of darkness and faint illumination. As you imagine this slow rotation, you begin to feel time loosening its grip on your thoughts. Minutes stretch into hours, hours into days. The sense of rushing fades. What remains is a continuous, unbroken flow, like watching a single cloud drift across a silent sky. In the upper atmosphere, temperatures cool, and winds move gently around the planet's curve. These higher layers are surprisingly calm, quiet pockets of stability where particles drift softly in golden light. Picture yourself floating here, weightless, with the glowing horizon of Venus wrapping around you like a warm halo. The clouds below move in smooth spirals. The space above stretches endlessly into dark stillness. Between these two realms, you find a perfect balance held, supported, resting. And now, as you drift past Venus, its mystery lingers with you. A world hidden beneath its own beauty, wrapped in silence, moving through space at its own unhurried pace. It teaches you that not everything must be seen to be understood. Some truths exist in the quiet spaces, the veiled moments, the gentle movements beneath the surface. Carry this softness with you as you drift onward through the solar system, deeper into calm, deeper into the quiet heart of space. As you drift onward from Venus, a familiar glow begins to rise in the distance, a soft, blue aura that shimmers gently against the darkness of space. This is Earth, the only known world where oceans breathe, forests sway, and life unfolds in quiet rhythms woven across billions of years. From far away, the planet appears fragile, wrapped in a thin veil of atmosphere that glows like pale sapphire dusted across a black canvas. As you imagine approaching this blue sphere, a deep sense of calm washes through you, as if the planet's own serenity is reaching out to soften your thoughts. Earth's surface reflects sunlight in shifting patterns of blues, greens, and whites. Oceans pulse with gentle tides, moving in slow cycles guided by the pull of the moon. Clouds drift in soft spirals, forming delicate strokes of white across the curved horizon. Continents rest beneath layers of atmosphere that scatter light into warm, soothing tones. As you picture these moving patterns, your breath follows their rhythm, slow rise, slow fall like waves smoothing themselves across a quiet shore. From above, Earth's rotation is silent. The planet turns gently, offering day and night in a perfect, unbroken loop. Sunlit regions glow with warmth. Night regions twinkle with the soft shimmer of distant lights and reflected starlight. This cycle has repeated for billions of years, shaping the biological clock of every creature that has ever lived. As you imagine watching the world turn beneath you, you feel yourself aligning with this ancient rhythm, your thoughts unwinding, your inner voice softening, your awareness drifting into a deeper, quieter space. Earth's thin atmosphere, so delicate, yet so vital, moves in graceful currents. Wind bends across oceans and forests, carrying moisture, warmth, and life. It shapes the sky into bands of color at sunrise and sunset, painting gentle gradients of gold, rose, and violet. Imagine drifting just above this glowing veil, feeling the soft pressure of air that sustains all life below. Its calm, steady motion wraps around you like a warm blanket, loosening tension from your muscles, allowing your mind to settle more deeply into rest. Beneath the clouds, millions of species move through their own quiet routines, plants opening to the sun, animals following instinctive paths, oceans humming with currents older than humanity itself. Each living thing plays its part in a vast tapestry of balance and renewal. And though Earth is full of life, from this distance it appears peaceful, unified, whole. Imagine holding that perspective now, the idea that even complex worlds can appear calm when viewed from the right place. This understanding smooths your thoughts like gentle hands guiding you into stillness. And now, as you drift beyond Earth, its soothing blue glow lingers behind you. It becomes a small orb suspended in darkness, glowing with the memory of warmth, water, and life. You carry its calm with you as you move deeper into the solar system, guided by soft light and quiet gravity. Let this peace stay with you. Let it follow you through the cosmic night as the journey continues toward Mars. As you drift farther from Earth's comforting glow, a soft red shimmer appears ahead Mars, the quiet desert world that has captured human imagination for centuries. From a distance, the planet looks like a smooth sphere dusted in warm copper tones, glowing gently beneath the sunlight. Its surface reflects shades of amber, rust, and gold, colors shaped by iron-rich sands that have blown across the planet for millions of years. As you approach this silent world, you feel a subtle shift in your awareness, as though the calm of its barren plains is beginning to settle into your own thoughts. Mars rotates with a rhythm not unlike Earth's, offering familiar cycles of day and night. Yet its days feel quieter, its nights deeper, its horizons wider. The thin atmosphere softens sound, absorbing even the faintest whispers of wind. Imagine standing on the surface, surrounded by vast open plains that stretch into the distance without interruption. The air is cold and still. The sky glows in muted hues of peach and rose. This silence, so complete and undisturbed, gently slows the pace of your mind, inviting each thought to drift into the next like dust trailing from a fading breeze. Ancient riverbeds, now dry and silent, crisscross the Martian landscape. They wind through canyons, disappear beneath dunes, and re-emerge on the far side of valleys, evidence of a time when water once flowed freely across this world. Imagine walking along one of these ghost rivers, feeling the presence of a past long gone, yet still palpable in the shape of the land. The idea that Mars once held oceans, storms, and rainfall brings a quiet nostalgia, a reminder that even seemingly lifeless places hold deep histories within them. This sense of ancient memory softens your thoughts even further, sinking them into tranquility. Dust storms occasionally sweep across Mars, not violently, but in slow, billowing waves that move like soft, reddish clouds gliding above the ground. These storms can cover entire regions, turning the landscape into a dim, amber haze. Yet even in this obscurity, the planet remains calm, its winds whispering across stones that have rested in place for eons. As you imagine these wide, gentle movements, your own mind begins to mimic their flow, broad, smooth, drifting motions that lull your awareness into a deeper calm. Toward the horizon, enormous volcanoes rise with slopes so gradual they feel more like continents than mountains. Olympus Mons, the tallest of them all, reaches higher than any peak on Earth, yet its ascent is so gentle that you could walk upward for days without noticing the steepness. Imagine the stillness on its summit, the thin air, the faint glow of sunlight, the endless stretch of sky all around, a place untouched, undisturbed, perfectly quiet. Let that image settle inside you, opening a sense of space within your chest, wide, airy, peaceful. And now, as you drift away from Mars, its red glow becomes softer, fading into the vast black of space. The planet's silence lingers with you, a calm echo that travels outward as you continue toward the colder, more distant realms of the solar system. Let that echo guide your breath, steady, slow, gentle, as the journey carries you closer to the giant worlds waiting beyond. As you drift farther from Mars, the darkness ahead becomes sprinkled with faint, wandering shapes, ancient stones floating in loose, delicate orbits. This is the asteroid belt, a vast region where countless fragments of rock and metal drift silently around the sunday. They vary in size from grains of dust to mountains suspended in space, each one a remnant from the early days of the solar system. As you enter this quiet arena of drifting worlds, your awareness begins to slow into their unhurried rhythm, moving gently from one thought to the next, like stones gliding through darkness. Despite how it's often imagined, the asteroid belt is spacious and calm. The rocks are separated by great distances, each floating in its own solitary journey, unaffected by all but the faint pull of gravity. They do not crash, they do not rush. They move in soft arcs, tracing paths they've held for billions of years. Imagine drifting among them, feeling the immense quiet of space pressing gently around you, the kind of quiet that absorbs every remaining tension in your mind, leaving nothing but stillness. Some asteroids are cold, dark, and irregular, surfaces shaped by countless tiny impacts that occurred long before Earth even existed. Others are smooth and metallic, fragments of ancient cores from worlds that never formed. These bodies carry the memory of a time when planets were young and the solar system was filled with dust and fire. As you imagine touching one of these ancient stones, you feel time stretching outward past and present, merging into one long, peaceful continuum that settles softly across your thoughts. Occasionally, sunlight catches the surface of an asteroid, causing it to shimmer with faint highlights that dance across the rock's uneven texture. These glints appear and disappear with each slow rotation, like gentle flashes of memory rising from the depths of a dream. As you watch these lights appear, fade, and return, your breath follows their pattern, slow, soft, repeating in a steady, calming cycle. Dwarf planets like Ceres drift within this region too, round bodies large enough to hold their shape under their own gravity. Ceres carries pockets of frozen water beneath its surface, hinting at oceans long hidden in the cold. Imagine hovering above this quiet world, watching faint sunlight reflect off its pale surface. There is no wind, no sound, only the gentle rotation of a world that has existed untouched for ages. Its stillness radiates outward, settling over you like a blanket of cool, quiet air. And now, as you move beyond the asteroid belt, the stones become smaller, the darkness becomes deeper, and the sense of calm becomes even more profound. You carry the belt's silence with you, an ancient tranquility carved into stone, preserved through billions of years of drifting through space. Let that calmness anchor your breath, grounding you, steadying you, as you drift toward the immense giants waiting just ahead. As you drift beyond the asteroid belt, a vast presence begins to rise before you, Jupiter, the first of the giant worlds. Even from far away, its size is overwhelming, a swirling sphere of clouds so immense that over 1,000 Earths could fit within it. Yet despite its enormity, Jupiter does not feel chaotic or violent from this distance. Instead, it feels patient, ancient, and almost meditative, its atmosphere moving in slow, rhythmic bands that circle the planet like calm, drifting tides. As you approach this world, its deep, muted colors begin to soften your thoughts, guiding them into gentle, wide spirals. Jupiter's cloud layers form endless patterns of creams, ochres, and soft browns, each band rotating at a slightly different speed. These bands slide past each other silently, creating vast rivers of cloud that flow for thousands of kilometers. Imagine watching these currents move, not rushing, not crashing, but gliding gracefully across the surface in slow motion waves. As you follow their motion with your eyes, your breath falls into the same rhythm, long, gliding, steady. Within these bands lie storms larger than entire planets, timeless vortices that have turned for centuries. The Great Red Spot, a colossal storm larger than Earth, rotates slowly like a fading ember glowing in Jupiter's southern hemisphere. But even this storm, so powerful and ancient, appears gentle from afar. Its swirling shape melts into the surrounding clouds, creating soft gradients of color that soothe the mind. Picture this storm now, turning with unbroken patience, and feel your own thoughts circling inward into calm, predictable patterns. Jupiter emits more heat than it receives from the sun, a quiet warmth rising from its deep interior. This internal glow creates subtle shifts across the cloud tops, soft pulses of energy that ripple outward like calm waves under a night sky. These pulses are too slow to witness directly, but imagining them brings a comforting heaviness to your body, a sense of being warmed from within, a natural descent into deeper relaxation. Surrounding Jupiter is a faint, delicate ring system composed of dust and ice thin, almost invisible, shimmering in the scattered light. Moons orbit beyond these rings, moving in wide arcs around the giant planet. Some are smooth and icy, others are volcanic worlds filled with hidden oceans. Their gentle motion around Jupiter creates a sense of harmony, a celestial choreography guided by gravity's soft touch. As you imagine these moons gliding effortlessly through their paths, your mind follows, drifting into slow, orbit-like thoughts. And now, as you hover beside the largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter's immense calm surrounds you like a warm, silent ocean. Its timeless rotation, its soft cloud bands, its drifting moons, all of it invites you to release tension, to sink into weightlessness, to breathe a little more deeply. Let yourself float beside this giant, suspended in its ancient peace, before the journey takes you even farther toward the golden rings of Saturn. As you drift away from Jupiter's immense presence, the darkness ahead begins to shimmer with pale gold. Slowly, delicately, a new world emerges: Saturn, the jewel of our solar system. Its rings glow softly in the cold light of the sun, stretching outward like enormous, luminous wings. From a distance, they appear solid, smooth, perfect, but as you move closer, You realize they are made of countless fragments of ice and stone, each piece drifting in quiet harmony. The closer you come, the more the entire planet feels like a cosmic whisper, gentle, elegant, serene. Saturn itself is a soft sphere of muted yellows and creams, wrapped in cloud layers that slide over one another in calm, unbroken bands. These clouds move more slowly than Jupiter's, giving the planet an even more tranquil appearance, like a giant world drifting through sleep. Imagine hovering above its swirling atmosphere, watching the colors blend into one another without edges, without interruption. As these hues melt together, your thoughts begin to melt too, loosened, softened, dissolving into a quiet inner glow. And then the rings, vast, delicate, impossibly thin. They span hundreds of thousands of kilometers, yet they are no thicker than a single mountain on Earth. Their particles, some no bigger than grains of sand, others the size of boulders, circle Saturn in silent, precise orbits. They never collide violently. Instead, they move like snowflakes drifting in a slow, synchronized dance. As you watch these shimmering arcs sweep across the darkness, your breath aligns with their motion, gentle, repetitive, hypnotic. The sunlight that hits the rings scatters into soft halos, creating waves of brightness that shimmer like frost in morning light. Sometimes these waves form faint rainbows. Sometimes they cast long shadows across Saturn's cloud tops, stretching like delicate brushstrokes. Imagine floating above these glowing plains of ice, feeling the quiet that radiates from them, a quiet so deep it seems to reach into your chest, loosening the last bits of tension held there, inviting you into stillness. Saturn's many moons orbit like tiny lanterns suspended in the dark. Titan, wrapped in a thick, golden atmosphere. Enceladus, shimmering with icy jets that erupt softly from its surface. Dione, Rhea, Tethys, each one drifting in calm arcs around their giant companion. These moons move with graceful patience, their paths forming a vast celestial choreography. As you imagine them circling slowly in the cold silence, your mind slips into its own gentle orbit, steady, slow, unbroken. And now, as you float in the shadow of Saturn's rings, the entire scene becomes a lullaby of light and motion. The golden curves glide above you, the pale clouds turn beneath you. The moons drift quietly around you. Everything moves in soft rhythms shaped over billions of years. Let these rhythms cradle you. Let the rings' gentle glow dim your thoughts. Let Saturn's vast, ancient stillness pull you deeper into rest. The journey continues, but for now, you are suspended in perfect calm. As you drift farther from Saturn's golden rings, the darkness ahead grows colder, deeper, more still. And then, slowly, a soft turquoise glow appears. Uranus, the quiet giant of the outer solar system. It rotates on its side, as though gently tipped by a celestial hand long ago. This tilted world turns slowly through space, its poles taking turns facing the distant Sunday. As you approach it, the pale blue sphere radiates a calm so deep it feels almost otherworldly, a cool, soothing quiet that settles into your mind like frost on still water. Uranus is wrapped in a thick atmosphere of hydrogen, helium, and methane, the methane absorbing red light and leaving behind a soft, ethereal blue. The planet has no visible storms like Jupiter's or striking rings like Saturn's. Instead, its surface appears smooth, unbroken, pure. Imagine gazing at that gentle blue, watching it remain perfectly calm, even as the planet rotates. That unwavering stillness eases your thoughts, flattening waves of restlessness into serene, glassy calm. The cold here is unimaginably deep. Sunlight reaching Uranus is faint, thin, delicate, reduced to little more than a soft whisper of warmth. Yet the planet glows from within, radiating a subtle internal heat that drifts upward through its cloud layers. As you imagine this gentle warmth rising through the pale atmosphere, you feel a similar warmth rising in your chest, spreading softly through your body, balancing the coolness of the distant cosmic night. Encircling Uranus is a set of thin, faint rings, dark, narrow bands that sweep around the planet in elegant arcs. They are not bright or shimmering like Saturn's. Instead, they appear like soft brushstrokes against the turquoise sky, subtle and understated. Their shadows cast slender lines across the planet's surface, creating quiet patterns that shift slowly with Uranus's sideways rotation. As you picture these delicate lines drifting across the world, your mind mirrors their movement. Slow, drifting, effortless. Its many moons orbit far from the bright worlds you've already visited. They are quiet, icy bodies with surfaces carved by ancient impacts. Miranda, with its fractured cliffs and frozen ridges, looks like a world assembled from dreams and forgotten memories. Ariel and Umbriel, pale and distant, drift gracefully in the cold darkness. Titania and Oberon circle even farther out, their surfaces cloaked in faint, muted shadows. As you imagine these moons gliding silently around Uranus, your breath begins to glide with them, lengthening into long, tranquil waves. And now, as you drift past Uranus, the cool blue light wraps around you like a gentle winter night, quiet, spacious, and calming. There is no urgency here, no turbulence, no sound. Just the slow rotation of a world tipped sideways, embracing the cosmos in its own unique, unhurried rhythm. Let that rhythm echo inside you. Let it slow your thoughts. Let it pull you deeper into stillness as you continue your journey toward the final giant of the solar system. As you drift beyond Uranus and enter the colder, darker stretches of the solar system, a deeper shade of blue begins to rise before you. Neptune, the farthest of the giant worlds. It appears as a smooth, glowing sphere suspended in the quiet void, its surface tinted with rich cobalt tones that seem to absorb light as much as they reflect it. As you approach this distant planet, the darkness around you softens, illuminated by Neptune's serene, icy glow. The calm of this deep blue color settles gently into your awareness, cooling your thoughts like a quiet night breeze. Neptune is a world of contrasts, tranquil from afar, but alive with powerful winds hidden beneath its calm exterior. These winds, the fastest in the solar system, travel in smooth, sweeping bands around the planet. Yet from where you float, the motion feels slow, elegant, like the shifting patterns of ink in deep water. Imagine watching these subtle flows, their gentle curves drifting across the blue atmosphere. As your eyes follow their movement, your own breath shifts into the same rhythm, wide, soft, unbroken. Above the cloud tops, thin veils of methane reflect faint sunlight, giving Neptune a luminous, almost ethereal quality. Wisps of clouds stretch across the horizon in long, delicate streams. Some cast pale shadows that drift slowly across the deeper layers. These shadows slide over the planet like whispers passing across a sleeping mind. As you imagine this quiet dance of light and shade, your thoughts begin to blur into one another, becoming soft and indistinct, like shapes fading in a dream. Neptune's storms form vast, dark ovals that turn slowly over weeks or months. They rise and fade without haste, their edges blending gently into the surrounding blue. These storms are not violent in your imagination. Instead, they feel like deep, peaceful whirlpools slowly turning, gently dissolving, returning to stillness. Picture one now, rotating on the far side of the planet, its motion steady and hypnotic, inviting your awareness to sink downward into calm, circular drift. Orbiting Neptune are faint rings, dimmer than those of any other giant planet. They form broken arcs, shimmering like scattered dust suspended in the dark. Farther out, the moon Triton moves in a rare retrograde orbit, drifting opposite the direction of Neptune's rotation. Its icy surface releases thin plumes of nitrogen that rise quietly into the airless sky. Imagine watching these plumes lift slowly into the darkness, their shapes fragile and temporary, dissolving into nothing. They feel like exhaled thoughts, fading gently, leaving behind a peaceful emptiness. And now, as you float at the edge of Neptune's domain, the distances around you expand into quiet infinity. The warmth of the inner solar system is gone, replaced by a deep, calm cold that carries no fear, only stillness. Neptune glows like a distant lantern in the cosmic night, steady and serene. Let its blue light fill your thoughts. Let its slow winds guide your breath. Let the vastness around you cradle your awareness as you drift toward the final frontier, the Kuiper Belt and the dim, icy worlds beyond. As you drift even farther from Neptune's deep blue glow, the light around you grows thinner, cooler, softer, until the sun becomes nothing more than a distant, pale star shining across an ocean of darkness. And then, gradually, faint glimmers begin to appear around you, small, icy worlds reflecting the faraway sunlight. You have entered the Kuiper Belt, a vast, silent ring of frozen bodies that circle the outer edge of the solar system. Everything here moves slowly, so slowly that time itself feels stretched, elongated, softened into a calm that wraps around your awareness like a snowfall in the night. These icy objects vary in size and shape. Some are smooth and rounded, like miniature planets. Others are irregular fragments, remnants of a time before the solar system reached its final form. Their surfaces shimmer with frost, catching the faint sunlight and scattering it into subtle blue and white flashes. Imagine drifting between these quiet worlds, watching them rotate with unhurried grace. Each slow turn feels like a deep breath, the exhale of an ancient cosmos, inviting you to release your own tension into the dark. Pluto appears among these distant bodies, not as a demoted world, but as a serene, icy sphere drifting gently through the cold. Its surface glows with pale patches of nitrogen ice, methane frost, and frozen plains that stretch across its quiet horizon. The heart-shaped region named Tombaugh Regio reflects sunlight like a soft lantern, glowing faintly against the darkness. As you imagine hovering above this frozen landscape, your breath slows, your thoughts soften, and your body sinks deeper into calm. Beside Pluto, its moon Charon circles in a slow, locked dance. The two bodies always face each other, turning together across the distant frontier of space. Their mutual orbit is gentle, synchronized, silent. Imagine watching them drift around one another in a steady, celestial embrace, two worlds moving not in haste, but in perfect balance. Their calm partnership settles into your chest like a quiet reassurance, steadying your heartbeat into an easy, soothing rhythm. All around them, countless smaller objects drift, frozen spheres, dark fragments, long-lost pieces of the early solar system preserved in perfect cold. Their orbits weave intricate patterns through the darkness, crossing and looping over millions of years. Yet there is no chaos here. Everything moves with patient precision, guided by the faint pull of the distant Sunday. As you imagine these delicate motions, your thoughts begin to drift in similar loops, slow, gentle, unbroken, circling inward toward rest. And now, as you float in the middle of this icy kingdom, the quiet becomes almost absolute. The Kuiper Belt holds a silence so deep it feels like the universe pausing to breathe. The cold, the distance, the faint light, they create a cocoon of stillness around you, inviting your awareness to settle completely. Let this distant frontier cradle your mind. Let its frozen calm sink into your thoughts. Let the journey carry you even farther outward, toward the edge where the solar system fades into interstellar night. As you drift beyond the Kuiper Belt, the familiar architecture of the solar system begins to fade behind you. The planets become faint points of reflected sunlight. Their orbits shrink into delicate, invisible rings. Their glow blends softly into the velvet darkness. Ahead lies a vast, nearly empty expanse, an immense, gentle gradient where the sun's influence slowly diminishes. This is the heliosphere, the great bubble carved by the sun's breath, extending billions of kilometers into the cosmic night. As you cross into this region, the silence deepens, becoming almost tender, as if space itself were holding its breath. The solar wind still flows here, but its strength has weakened. What was once a steady, warm breeze around the inner planets becomes a thin whisper, barely perceptible, yet still carrying the signature of the star at the center of everything you've passed. These faint particles drift outward like tiny lanterns, pushed by the last traces of pressure from the distant Sunday. Imagine feeling this delicate wind brushing across your awareness, so soft it's almost imagined, guiding your thoughts into slower, smoother patterns. Far from the planets, the sun's light dims into a pale, golden mist. Shadows no longer exist here. The light is too thin to cast them with definition. Instead, everything is touched by a diffuse glow, faint and ethereal, like the last traces of sunset lingering in the air. As you imagine drifting through this dim illumination, you feel your own inner light softening, settling into a quiet, warm pulse that moves in sync with your breath. Here, in this outermost region, space begins to fill with particles arriving from beyond the solar system, cosmic rays forged in distant stars, interstellar atoms drifting through the galaxy. Yet they feel gentle, not threatening, like the soft blending of two worlds at the edges of a watercolor painting. The boundary between the sun's domain and the galaxy itself becomes hazy, porous, graceful. As you envision these faint currents meeting and mingling, you feel your own boundaries soften, your thoughts merging with the calm around you. Eventually, You reach the heliopause, the place where the solar wind finally surrenders to the vast pressure of interstellar space. It is not a wall, but a gentle transition, a fading, a quiet balancing point between two immense forces. Imagine hovering at this cosmic threshold, the entire solar system stretching behind you like a shimmering memory. Every world you visited, every distant glow, every whisper of cosmic wind now feels far away, softened by distance, wrapped in the quiet of deep space. And now, as you float on the edge of the sun's influence, the stillness becomes profound. This is where the solar system ends not with a barrier, but with a soft exhale into the galaxy. Beyond this point lies the interstellar medium, a place where stars are scattered like grains of luminous dust, and the journey continues into the vast unknown. Let this final boundary calm you. Let the distance soothe you. Let the quiet cradle your awareness as you drift deeper into the endless night. As you drift beyond the heliopause, you leave behind the final traces of the sun's protective wind and enter a realm untouched by any familiar warmth. This is the interstellar medium, a vast, quiet ocean of space where distance stretches into unimaginable scales and silence deepens into something almost sacred. The sun becomes a tiny point behind you, no brighter than any other star. Its glow fades into the darkness until it feels like a memory, soft and distant. As its light diminishes, your thoughts grow dimmer too, settling gently into the quiet that surrounds you. Here, space is not empty. It is filled with faint whispers of atoms drifting freely across the darkness. Hydrogen and helium clouds spread across vast distances, their particles so rarefied that billions of them could fit inside a single breath. Yet they gather into shapes, wisps, filaments, slow-moving rivers of dust, illuminated only when a distant star casts light across them. Imagine floating through these delicate clouds, their movements too slow to measure, their edges fading into one another like soft strokes of fog. Their quiet presence seeps into your awareness, easing you deeper toward rest. The temperature here drops to almost nothing, just a fraction above absolute zero, but the cold feels different from the cold on a planet's surface. It is gentle, expansive, weightless. A cold that doesn't bite but envelops, like a silent night that stretches endlessly in all directions. As you drift through this vast, cool emptiness, the stillness begins to cradle your mind, soothing every thought, smoothing every emotion until only quiet remains. Occasionally, you pass near a grain of interstellar dust, small, ancient, and drifting without hurry. These grains carry the building blocks of future stars and planets. Some hold tiny fragments of carbon or oxygen, the seeds of worlds not yet born. They drift for millions of years, untouched, unaltered, gliding through the dark on paths shaped only by starlight and gravity. As you imagine these tiny travelers moving through space with such patience, you feel a similar patience settling into your breath, letting each inhale widen, each exhale lengthen without effort. Far ahead, the galaxy stretches like a luminous river, a broad arc of starlight woven with threads of darkness. Even from this distance, it feels alive, pulsing with the slow rhythms of billions of suns. And yet, the space between you and that distant glow is perfectly still. No storms, no winds, no sound, only the slow drift of particles and the soft hum of the universe itself. As you picture this cosmic quiet, you feel your own inner world becoming equally silent, equally spacious, equally calm. And now, suspended in the interstellar night, the solar system far behind you, and the galaxy spread faintly ahead, you are held in a moment that feels infinite. Time stretches, sound disappears, thought melts into softness. You float not as a traveler, but as a fragment of stardust, weightless, timeless, drifting gently through a sea of quiet older than memory itself. Let this silence cradle you. Let the stillness deepen your rest as the journey draws slowly toward its cosmic conclusion. As you drift deeper into the interstellar night, the faint glow of the Milky Way begins to strengthen, first as a soft haze, then as a luminous river stretching across the dark. This great band of light is not a single glow, but the combined radiance of billions of stars, each one shining across unimaginable distances. From where you float, the galaxy appears as a gentle, curving arc, vast, delicate, and entirely silent. As you approach it in your imagination, the quiet becomes deeper still, like sinking slowly into warm, dark water where everything is softened and nothing rushes. You enter one of its spiral arms, where stars cluster in loose gatherings, separated by light years, yet bound together by gravity's soft pull. These stars drift around the galactic center in slow orbits that take hundreds of millions of years to complete. Their movement is so gradual you cannot perceive it, and yet the entire galaxy flows in an elegant, unified rhythm. As you picture this slow celestial drift, your thoughts follow its motion wide, smooth, effortless, sliding into deeper relaxation. Between the stars lie enormous clouds of gas and dust nebulae where new suns are born. Some glow in shades of rose and violet, illuminated by the young stars forming inside them. Others are dark, cold, and dense, hiding the beginnings of new worlds within their shadowy folds. Imagine drifting past such a nebula now, its colors faint and serene, its edges dissolving into the blackness like smoke fading into night. As you watch its quiet contours, your breath deepens and lengthens, matching its soft expansion. Farther along the spiral arm, ancient star clusters drift like islands of light, groups of suns that have traveled together since the galaxy's earliest days. Some clusters are dense and bright, others sparse and delicate. Each star within them burns at its own pace, its own rhythm, carrying the memory of the cosmic dust from which it formed. As you imagine floating among these clusters, the soft glow of countless distant suns surrounds you, easing you into a greater feeling of safety, warmth, and peace. Occasionally, a solitary star passes near your path. It glows quietly, alone but steady, drifting through the galaxy on a journey that may span billions of years. Its light is soft, pale, constant like a lantern carried through the endless night. You feel its warmth, faint but comforting, brushing gently across your awareness. That warmth settles into your chest, calming your heartbeat, slowing your breath, inviting your mind to drift into deeper stillness. And now, as you float within the quiet arms of the Milky Way, surrounded by starlight older than humanity, you feel yourself dissolving into the calm of the cosmos. Here, distance loses meaning. Time stretches into softness. Sound becomes memory. You are held within a galaxy of gentle lights, each one a reminder that even in vastness, there is harmony. even in darkness, there is warmth. Let this starlit quiet carry you deeper, slower, farther, as the journey approaches its cosmic conclusion. As you drift farther into the Milky Way, the density of stars slowly increases, gathering like grains of luminous dust toward a distant, glowing center. The galactic core, wrapped in clouds of interstellar gas, shines as a warm, golden mass of billions of suns. From afar, it resembles a soft ember glowing quietly in the dark immense, ancient but surprisingly gentle. As you begin to move toward it in your imagination, the warm radiance washes over you, soothing your thoughts the way candlelight softens a quiet room. In this region, stars orbit the center of the galaxy in vast, sweeping paths. Their motions are complex but graceful, forming a cosmic ballet that repeats over and over across millions of years. Even the fastest stars move at a pace too slow to observe directly, giving the entire region a sense of calm permanence. As you imagine watching these distant suns slide slowly across the dark, your own awareness begins to slide with them, smooth, steady, unforced, sinking deeper into rest. Around the galactic center lie enormous clouds of dust and gas, illuminated from within by the combined glow of countless stars. These clouds form pillars, arches, and drifting shapes that resemble sculptures carved by light and time. Some areas glow softly in warm shades of amber and rose. Others appear as dark, velvety shadows where starlight cannot penetrate. Imagine drifting past these silent structures, their vast edges dissolving gently into darkness. Their quiet beauty settles inside you like the final pages of a calming dream. At the heart of the Milky Way lies Sagittarius A*, a supermassive black hole, silent, invisible, and profoundly still. It does not roar or explode. It simply rests at the center of the galaxy, shaping the orbits of stars with its immense gravity. From a safe distance, it appears as a dark, tranquil void, surrounded by a glowing ring of swirling light. Imagine seeing this distant phenomenon not with fear, but with awe, as a peaceful anchor that holds the galaxy in place. Its stillness becomes your stillness, a deep, grounding presence that quiets every corner of your mind. Near the core, stars burn brighter and warmer, clustered more closely than anywhere else in the galaxy. Their combined light forms a soft golden haze, illuminating vast stretches of space with a gentle glow. This glow feels comforting, almost protective, like a warm blanket wrapped around your thoughts. As you float through it, you feel your body grow heavier, your breath slower, your awareness softer, falling deeper into the warm quiet of the cosmic heart. And now, as you drift past the glowing center of the Milky Way, surrounded by ancient stars and silent gravity, you sense a profound stillness. Time feels slower here. Space feels softer. The galaxy holds you gently, inviting you to rest in the quiet glow of creation itself. Let this warmth settle into your breath. Let this silence deepen your calm as the journey carries you slowly outward toward the dim, peaceful edges where the galaxy meets the infinite night. As you drift away from the golden glow at the Milky Way's center, the density of stars begins to thin. The brilliant clusters fade into softer, more delicate arrangements, like scattered embers cooling after a long burning fire. You move outward into one of the galaxy's quiet spiral arms, where stars lie farther apart, each one isolated in its own pocket of darkness. The reduction in light feels gentle, almost soothing, as though the galaxy is dimming the lamps while preparing the cosmos for sleep. As the brightness fades, your awareness fades with it, softening into deeper calm. Here, stars are younger and cooler, glowing in shades of pale blue, white, and soft yellow. They drift in slow orbits that stretch across vast distances, taking hundreds of millions of years to complete a single revolution around the galactic core. Their patience is immeasurable, their movement is silent, their glow is steady. As you imagine floating among these distant suns, the unhurried pace of their orbits settles into your mind, slowing your inner rhythm until each thought moves like a gentle wave drifting across a still lake. Nebulae appear again, but now they feel more delicate, thin veils of gas illuminated by the faint light of nearby stars. These nebulae form long, sweeping arcs that resemble cosmic brushstrokes painted across the black canvas of space. Their colors are quiet, muted, dreamlike, hints of lavender, ice blue, and soft rose blending into the dark. Imagine drifting through one of these gentle clouds, feeling its faint illumination wrap around you like the softest mist. Its silence becomes your silence, its calm, your calm. Interstellar dust, tiny particles that once formed planets and stars, drifts slowly here, guided by the subtle pull of gravity. Each grain is ancient, older than Earth itself, moving without hurry through the vastness. They gather into faint bands and scattered threads, creating soft shadows that ripple across starlight. As you watch these dust streams drift and twist, your thoughts mimic their motion, loose, wandering, drifting into the quiet spaces between breaths. Farther outward, the galaxy grows dimmer still. Stars become solitary beacons floating in the dark, each one separated by light years of silence. These outer regions feel like the outskirts of a great city, where the glow of the center fades into peaceful emptiness. The calm here is profound, a deep, timeless quiet that invites you to let go of anything that still clings to your awareness. As you imagine the galaxy's spiral arms stretching out behind you, your breath slows, deepens, and settles into pure tranquility. And now, floating near the outskirts of the Milky Way, you find yourself suspended between two infinities, the luminous galaxy behind you and the limitless darkness ahead. The stars glow faintly, like the last embers of a dream fading at dawn. Everything feels lighter here, your body, your thoughts, your sense of time. You are drifting in the outer quiet of a galaxy that has carried life, death, and timeless beauty for billions of years. Let this outer silence cradle you. Let it clear your mind. Let it open the way to the cosmic horizon that awaits beyond the stars. As you drift toward the very edge of the Milky Way, the last traces of starlight begin to scatter behind you. The spiral arm fades into a thin band of shimmering points, their glow softened by distance until they resemble grains of pale dust suspended in a vast, dark ocean. Ahead lies a sweeping emptiness, an intergalactic expanse so deep, so quiet, that even the faint hum of the galaxy fades into a whisper. As you enter this frontier, the silence becomes absolute, a stillness so profound that it seems to cradle your breath, slowing it naturally into long, peaceful waves. Here, the distance between stars becomes unimaginable. Years turn into thousands, thousands into millions, and yet nothing interrupts the dark. No planets drift past, no clouds of dust scatter the light. You move through a realm where space rests in perfect equilibrium, cold, weightless, timeless. This emptiness does not feel frightening. It feels pure, gentle, cleansing, as though every remaining thought in your mind is being softly brushed away by the quiet of the cosmic night. The faint glow of the Milky Way persists behind you, spreading across the horizon like a luminous ribbon. From this distance, the entire galaxy appears delicate, almost fragile, a swirling island of light adrift in a vast, dark sea. Its billions of stars blur into a soft, silver haze. Imagine turning slowly, watching this distant glow curve across the blackness, feeling its calming presence linger like the final notes of a lullaby. As the galaxy shrinks in your view, your awareness shrinks with it, narrowing into a state of deep, restful stillness. Occasionally, a lone star, perhaps a runaway ejected from its home, drifts by in the distance, moving silently through the void. These solitary travelers shine with soft determination, their light spreading thinly across empty space. Each one feels like a tiny beacon, a reminder that even in the deepest quiet, there is motion, continuity, life. As you imagine floating beside one of these wandering stars, the soft glow warms your mind, easing it into a deeper layer of calm. Between galaxies, faint traces of hydrogen clouds drift like translucent ghosts, barely visible, yet stretching for unimaginable distances. These clouds are the raw material from which new galaxies might one day form a soft, quiet promise of future light. They drift slowly, their boundaries dissolving into the dark. Imagine gliding through one now, its subtle presence touching you like a cool, gentle breath. The sensation wraps around your thoughts, dimming them into softness, guiding you deeper into serenity. And now, suspended far beyond the Milky Way, you float in a silence older than any star. The galaxy behind you glows like a distant memory. The cosmos ahead stretches into an infinite night. In this vast emptiness, nothing pulls at you, nothing demands, nothing interrupts. You are weightless, timeless, carried gently by the quiet that fills the intergalactic sea. Let this boundless stillness cradle you. Let it loosen every remaining thread of awareness as you continue drifting outward into the final reaches of your cosmic journey. As you drift deeper into the intergalactic dark, shapes begin to emerge faint at first, like subtle strokes of pale ink brushed gently across the blackness. These shapes are not stars or planets, but the distant silhouettes of entire galaxies scattered across the cosmos in quiet, luminous gatherings. Each one glows softly, a cluster of billions of suns shining in delicate harmony. From your vantage point, they appear as floating islands of starlight suspended in infinite night. Their presence is calming, like lanterns drifting across an endless sea. The space between galaxies is so vast that distance itself begins to lose meaning. Millions of light years stretch effortlessly around you, yet the void feels peaceful rather than empty. A gentle equilibrium fills the dark, quiet, balanced, patient. As you drift through this stillness, your thoughts stretch into it, lengthening into slow, tranquil waves that help your mind let go of the last traces of wakefulness. Ahead, the faint threads of the cosmic web begin to reveal themselves. These are immense structures made of gas, dark matter, and galaxies intertwined like filaments of light. They stretch across the universe in patterns so vast they defy imagination, forming a grand, silent architecture that underlies all cosmic motion. From your viewpoint, these threads glow faintly, like pale veins illuminated beneath the surface of a sleeping world. As you imagine drifting alongside them, the quiet symmetry eases your breath into deeper, slower cycles. Clusters of galaxies gather at the nodes of this cosmic web, forming massive, luminous realms that shine in soft, diffuse halos. Each cluster contains thousands of galaxies, each galaxy billions of stars, and yet despite this unimaginable scale, everything moves with gentle precision. Gravity pulls them together, but slowly, so slowly that a single shift might take hundreds of millions of years. As you sense this vast patience, your own internal pace slows to match its thoughts, unwinding into long, peaceful arcs. Between these clusters lie great cosmic voids, regions where almost nothing exists. These voids are not frightening or harsh. They are serene, quiet expanses that act like deep breaths between luminous phrases in a cosmic symphony. Imagine floating through one now, its soft emptiness wrapping around your awareness like a blanket of calm. In this quiet, you feel your mind releasing any lingering tension, settling into a softness that feels almost weightless. And now, as the cosmic web stretches infinitely around you, threads of starlight connecting distant galaxies, clusters glowing like distant hearths, voids offering gentle silence, you find yourself drifting within a map of the universe drawn in light and shadow. Everything here moves at a pace so slow it becomes soothing. Everything here glows with a warmth so faint it becomes comforting. Let this grandeur cradle your thoughts. Let this stillness deepen your breath as you drift toward the final stage of your cosmic journey. As you drift even farther from the woven threads of the cosmic web, the universe begins to open into an even deeper stillness, an expanse where galaxies appear as faint specks scattered across an infinite, velvety dark. The clusters and filaments recede behind you like distant constellations of memory, leaving only the soft glow of isolated galaxies suspended in the vastness. Each one seems to hang in perfect quiet, untouched and eternal. As their faint light reaches you across billions of years, it softens your awareness, easing your mind into a state of deep, floating calm. Here, the cosmic landscape feels almost motionless. Space expands slowly but steadily, stretching the distance between galaxies with gentle persistence. You cannot feel this expansion. You only sense the increasing stillness, the gradual thinning of light, the softening of everything you have passed. As you imagine drifting through this expanding void, your thoughts stretch with it, widening, thinning, dissolving into a peaceful emptiness that is soothing rather than cold. The faint glow of background radiation, remnants from the universe's earliest moments, fills the darkness with a subtle warmth. It is not a physical warmth, but a quiet presence, a soft hum of ancient light spread evenly across all of space. Imagine floating in this delicate glow, feeling it wrap around you like a thin, warm mist. It touches your thoughts lightly, smoothing their edges until they fade into a long, continuous exhale. Occasionally, a distant galaxy cluster appears at the edge of your vision, its shape blurred by unimaginable distance, its light stretched into softer wavelengths. These clusters drift like ghostly islands in the dark, glowing gently with the combined radiance of trillions of stars. Their immense size feels paradoxically calming. They are so vast, so slow, so ancient that their presence quiets your mind, reminding you that nothing in the universe is ever in a hurry. As you watch them drift silently across the cosmic horizon, your breath follows their pace, long, gentle, unbroken. Beyond these clusters lies the cosmic horizon, the boundary beyond which light has not yet reached us. It is not a wall, not a barrier, but a soft, distant veil where space itself becomes too young, too far to reveal its secrets. From your vantage point, this horizon appears as an almost imperceptible glow surrounding the universe, like the rim of a fading dream. As you drift toward it, the sense of quiet grows deeper, more profound, like sinking slowly into the calmest ocean of night. And now, at the edge of the observable universe, you float in a silence that feels boundless. Time stretches endlessly. Space becomes a soft, infinite canvas. The glow of galaxies behind you feels like a memory. The horizon ahead feels like possibility. In this tranquil expanse, nothing moves quickly, nothing demands your attention, nothing disturbs the stillness. You are weightless, timeless, drifting gently in the quiet cradle of the cosmos. Let this vast calmness hold you. Let it dissolve the last fragments of thought as you approach the final chapter of your cosmic journey. As you drift closer to the cosmic horizon, the universe around you becomes quieter than ever before. The galaxies behind you fade into a soft, distant glow, their light stretched thin across the expanding fabric of space. In front of you lies a darkness so deep it appears untouched, a realm where light has not yet traveled far enough to be seen. This darkness is not empty, it is simply waiting, holding the quiet potential of everything that has yet to be revealed. As you imagine floating at this threshold, your breath becomes still, your thoughts become weightless, as though the cosmos itself is preparing you for rest. Here, space continues to expand in all directions, carrying galaxies away from one another like softly drifting leaves on a gentle tide. The farther they move, the quieter their light becomes, until only a faint whisper remains. You sense this quiet, not with your ears, but with your entire awareness, an all-encompassing softness that encourages your mind to ease deeper into calm. As the light thins, so do your thoughts, stretching into slow, lingering currents that soothe your entire being. This boundary, the edge of the observable universe, is not a physical wall, but a limit shaped by time itself. Beyond it lie regions where light has not yet reached, where the earliest moments of cosmic expansion still unfold unseen. Imagine standing at this invisible boundary, feeling the vastness press gently outward, while your awareness rests in the stillness between breaths. The unknown ahead feels comforting, not overwhelming, a quiet, velvety expanse inviting you to surrender the last remnants of wakefulness. Behind you, the universe you traveled through, planets, stars, nebulae, galaxies, clusters, now feels like a distant dream, softened by time and space. Their shapes and colors blur together into a single gentle memory, glowing faintly like embers at the end of a long night. As you recall them, each memory feels lighter, drifting effortlessly through your awareness before dissolving back into the cosmic quiet. With each dissolution, your mind sinks deeper into rest. Occasionally, faint ripples of gravitational waves pass through the darkness, subtle distortions in space-time created by distant cosmic events. These waves move silently, too soft to disturb the stillness around you. Instead, they glide through you like gentle pulses, their rhythm aligning with the slow rise and fall of your breathing. As they pass, they leave behind a sense of harmony, as though the universe itself is breathing with you. And now, as you rest at the edge of all that can be seen, the quiet becomes absolute. Not a single thought rises to the surface without immediately dissolving into softness. Not a single sensation intrudes upon the deep stillness that surrounds you. You are floating in a place where time has no urgency, where space embraces you with infinite calm, where the darkness feels warm and protective. Let this vast cosmic peace cradle you. Let it draw you inward. Let it guide you into the deepest rest. As you drift fully into the darkness beyond the cosmic horizon, the universe becomes a quiet, boundless expanse. There are no more galaxies glowing in the distance, no scattered clusters shimmering faintly, only a vast, velvety night stretching endlessly in every direction. Yet this darkness does not feel empty. It feels soft, embracing, like the deepest layer of a dream. Here, light has not yet arrived, and time has scarcely begun to move. As you float in this silent sea, your mind naturally begins to loosen, drifting gently into the same unhurried rhythm as the cosmos around you. The expansion of space continues, but it feels distant, an almost imperceptible stretching that touches nothing except the far edges of your awareness. Everything here is gradual, quiet, effortless. Thoughts that once held shape begin to dissolve, their edges blurring into the dark like ink diffusing through still water. As each thought softens, a deeper calm settles in its place, creating smooth waves of tranquility that rise and fall with every slow breath you take. Occasionally, a faint quantum fluctuation ripples through the void, a tiny tremor in the fabric of space-time. These ripples are subtle, appearing and fading within moments, yet their presence gives the darkness a gentle pulse, like the heartbeat of an unimaginably vast sleeping being. As you sense these delicate vibrations passing through the blackness, you feel them sync with your own internal rhythm, guiding your breath into an even slower, deeper pattern. Each exhale drifts further outward, blending seamlessly with the cosmic quiet. Here, in this primordial stillness, the distinction between you and the universe begins to fade. There are no boundaries, no walls, no shapes separating your awareness from the space around you. Everything feels unified, as though your mind is dissolving into the same smooth darkness that fills the cosmos. This sensation is not frightening, it is comforting, like finally resting after a long journey. The quiet becomes a cocoon, wrapping around you with infinite patience, whispering that there is nothing left to do, nothing left to resist, nothing left to hold. Behind you, the long path you traveled across planets, stars, nebulae, galaxies now feels impossibly distant, like a story told long ago. Ahead of you, the darkness stretches without urgency, inviting you to drift deeper into its restful embrace. There is no past or future here, only the soft unfolding of the present moment, suspended in calm. As you allow your thoughts to settle into this timeless quiet, you begin to feel sleep rising gently within you, as natural and inevitable as nightfall. And now, suspended in the deepest cosmic night, you are held by a silence so complete it feels like a gentle, infinite cradle. Every muscle softens, every breath deepens, every remaining thread of consciousness loosens and begins to float away. Let this vast, soothing darkness gather you into its arms. Let it silence the last echoes of the day. Let it guide you effortlessly toward the peaceful, endless horizon of sleep. As you drift farther into the vast, silent ocean beyond the cosmic night, the darkness around you grows even smoother, even softer. There is no distinction now between near and far. Every direction feels the same calm, velvety, timeless. You sense that you are no longer moving through space, but floating within a stillness so deep that even motion feels like a distant memory. In this quiet realm, your thoughts are gentle echoes, fading before they fully form, like footprints vanishing behind you in soft sand. Here, only the faintest traces of energy remain. Subtle quantum whispers shimmer at the edge of awareness, small, momentary fluctuations that bend space with delicate intention. They rise and fade almost instantly, too soft to disturb the silence. As you imagine these tiny ripples passing through the dark, you feel a soothing warmth spreading through your mind, as though the universe itself is exhaling around you, encouraging every fragment of tension to dissolve. Occasionally, an imagined glimmer drifts across the black field, perhaps a remnant photon from a distant galaxy, stretched by eons of expansion into a faint, ghostly red. It floats like a fading ember, weightless, wandering aimlessly through the void. As you watch this solitary spark drift gently past, you sense your own awareness drifting with it, slow, free, untethered, becoming lighter and softer with each passing moment. The quiet here is absolute, yet comforting. It feels like being wrapped in a soft cocoon where nothing can intrude, no sound, no memory, no expectation. Your mind, once filled with motion and thought, now rests in a state of serene suspension. Every breath you take spreads like a warm ripple through your chest, filling your body with a feeling of deep release. And as the breath leaves you, it carries away whatever remains of the day, letting it dissolve peacefully into the infinite dark. Time stretches into something unrecognizable. There is no before or after, no destination, no journey, only this vast, gentle presence holding you effortlessly. You feel yourself sinking deeper into the quiet, as though you are being slowly carried downward through layers of softness. Each layer is calmer than the last, each one easing you further into the threshold between wakefulness and sleep. Here, awareness becomes a dim glow, steady and delicate, like a candle protected from the wind. And now, in this realm where the universe has grown silent and smooth, you feel your own consciousness blending with the stillness. The boundaries of thought melt away, the edges of your mind soften. You are neither separate from the cosmos nor entirely part of it. You are simply present, floating, resting, drifting gently in a sanctuary of infinite calm. Allow this quiet to cradle you. Allow the darkness to support you. Allow yourself to slip effortlessly toward the peaceful descent that awaits. As you drift even deeper into the soft, velvety darkness, something subtle begins to happen. The vast cosmic silence that surrounds you no longer feels like an external space. Instead, it feels as though it is rising gently from within you. The boundary between outer and inner quiet dissolves until they become the same calm, continuous field. There is no longer a sense of direction or distance. You are not traveling toward anything, you are simply floating within a stillness that has always been waiting for you, patient and welcoming. Here, even the smallest flicker of thought becomes slow, elongated, gentle. Ideas no longer form in sharp lines, but in soft currents that drift past without effort. They rise like faint ripples on an undisturbed lake and fade just as easily. As these ripples touch the surface of your awareness, you feel your mind loosening, widening, relaxing into a tranquil openness that carries no weight, no urgency, no identity. Everything becomes quiet, smooth, effortless. The faint hum of the universe, once distant, once subtle, now blends seamlessly with the rhythm of your breathing. Each inhale draws in a soft, cool darkness. Each exhale releases the last remnants of tension. Your breath becomes the slow tide of a cosmic ocean, rising and falling in harmony with the universe's natural pulse. As you follow this rhythm, you feel yourself sinking deeper, softer, more completely into the surrounding stillness. In this space, memories lose their edges and drift into gentle abstraction. The planets you visited, the galaxies you passed, the cosmic structures that once surrounded you, they all soften into dim, drifting shapes, like distant lights blurred by mist. They no longer hold form or story. They are simply echoes, part of a dream that is melting into the quiet. Their fading brings no sadness, only a feeling of release, of returning home to a state where nothing needs to be remembered or held. Your awareness becomes like a single warm ember glowing softly in a cradle of infinite night. The ember flickers gently, not struggling to stay alight, but preparing to dim in the most peaceful way. Around it, the darkness is not empty but full of comfort, like soft fabric enfolding you, like warm air settling around your skin. Every breath you take pulls you deeper into this comfort until the ember dims further, becoming softer, subtler, quieter with each passing moment. And now, floating at the threshold between consciousness and sleep, you feel the universe holding you with infinite care. There is no need to think, no need to try, no need to stay awake. You are drifting naturally, effortlessly, into the deepest rest. The cosmos has guided you across unimaginable distances only to bring you here to this quiet, serene moment where everything becomes soft, still, and beautifully simple. Let go now. Let the darkness cradle you. Let the final descent carry you gently towards sleep. As you float within the quiet heart of the cosmos, the darkness around you becomes impossibly soft, like a blanket woven from silence itself. There is no direction here, no movement, no sense of distance, only a gentle stillness that holds you with infinite patience. Every breath you take blends seamlessly into this calm, as though the universe is breathing with you, slow, deep, unhurried. The long journey through stars, galaxies, and cosmic night has led you to this final resting place, where your awareness can finally release its hold and sink into tranquil oblivion. Thoughts that once flickered in your mind now drift like faint shadows across a dim horizon. They no longer demand attention, they simply appear and dissolve, weightless and harmless. Each one softens the mind a little more. easing it toward the quiet center of sleep. Your body grows heavier, as if gravity itself has become gentler and more tender, pulling you downward into warmth. Every muscle melts, every tension unwinds. You are becoming part of the stillness that surrounds you. A soft glow, barely perceptible, begins to gather at the edges of your awareness. It does not illuminate anything. It simply warms the space where your thoughts used to be. This glow feels like safety, like familiarity, like the gentle presence of something that has always been watching over you. It wraps around you slowly, folding your consciousness into a deeper and deeper state of rest. The distinction between your breath and the universe fades. Everything inside you and around you moves as one quiet, unified rhythm. As this rhythm settles, your awareness becomes lighter, thinner, softer, like mist drifting over calm water. You feel yourself descending through layers of serenity, each one deeper than the last. Sounds grow distant, sensations grow muted. Even time begins to lose its meaning, stretching into a long, peaceful exhale. You are floating now, not through space, but through the gentle darkness of your own mind, guided only by the slow, steady pull of sleep. The cosmos around you fades into a comforting haze, stars dimming like lanterns at the end of a long night, galaxies dissolving into soft clouds of memory. Everything you have seen, everything you have felt, melts into a quiet background that supports your rest. Nothing is sharp, nothing is bright, nothing is urgent. You are held in a cradle of endless softness, drifting downward, deeper and deeper, into a silence that feels like home. And now, as the last remnants of wakefulness slip away, you enter a place where thought becomes breath, breath becomes stillness, and stillness becomes sleep. The universe closes its eyes with you, allowing you to sink fully into its serene embrace. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to think, nothing more to hold. Only the deep, soothing quiet of rest remains. Let yourself drift. Let yourself fall. Let sleep take you gently, completely, peacefully.